a new law supported by opioid distributors and manufacturers is making it increasingly difficult to hold companies accountable when they run afoul of the nation's drug laws, according to recently retired Drug Enforcement Administration investigators on the front lines of the war against opioids. They join a chorus of voices calling for changes to the law that includes Attorney General Jeff Sessions, 44 state attorneys general, and the head of the DEA office that regulates pharmaceuticals. The field investigators said the new law is hurting efforts to halt suspicious shipments of prescription pain pills and slowing the agency's investigative efforts. Morale within the ranks of the DEA's field divisions has plummeted, they said in interviews with The Washington Post and 60 Minutes for a joint investigation that will be published and broadcast Sunday. The law makes it much harder for us to do our jobs, said James Rafalski, a DEA investigator who retired in June after a 39-year career in law enforcement, the last 13 years with the agency. The Ensuring Patient Access and Effective Drug Enforcement Act of 2016 was pushed through Congress by a small band of lawmakers backed by a powerful array of drug companies. The law has undermined the DEA's most potent tools in the war against the opioid epidemic, according to agency investigators, agents, lawyers, and the DEA's chief administrative law judge. Patients who receive prescriptions for opioid painkillers at some Chicago area hospitals might soon walk away with an additional prescription for a drug meant to help them if they overdose. In January, West Suburban Hospital System Edward Elmhurst Health plans to start recommending its doctors. Patients who receive prescriptions for opioid painkillers at some Chicago area hospitals might soon walk away with an additional prescription for a drug meant to help them if they overdose. In January, West Suburban Hospital System Edward Elmhurst Health plans to start recommending its doctors. The legislation was the subject of a joint investigation by The Post and 60 Minutes in October. On Sunday, a follow-up investigation will examine the obstacles investigators encountered during the biggest case the DEA has ever pursued against a drug distributor. The law was sponsored by Rep. Tom Marino, RPA, in the House. Sen. Orrin G. Hatch, R. Utah, negotiated a final version with the DEA in the Senate. After the October report, Marino withdrew his nomination to become drug czar, which would have put him in charge of the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy. Attorney General Sessions said that he was dubious about the law when he was a senator and has since come to the conclusion that it should be changed. 44 state attorneys general, as well as Democratic lawmakers in Congress, have called for its repeal. The overdose-reversing drug Narcan will be available for use by police on all University of Wisconsin campuses under a partnership announced Wednesday. Attorney General Brad Schimmel joined with UW System President Ray Cross and a representative from Narcan manufacturer Adapt Pharma to make the overdose-reversing drug Narcan will be available for use by police on all University of Wisconsin campuses under a partnership announced Wednesday.